Good evening, my fellow fiends, and welcome to the 25th night of 31 Nights of Halloween, The Revenge. For the next 2 nights, we'll be talking about one of my favourite subjects when we discuss horror, Hammer horror. Yep, I bloody love Hammer. Now, in tomorrow's episode, we'll be showing off and talking about some very new, very amazing Hammer-related releases. But today, we are stepping back. I'm showing off an old collection and using it to give a quick rundown of my thoughts on a big chunk of Hammer films, followed by my top 5 Hammer films ever. Okay? Let's get stuck in. Now, to help me with this video, I'm going to be using this rather chunky old DVD box set. Just look how sexy it is. I don't know if you can really tell, but the Hammer writing's a bit shiny. We like a bit of shine. So yeah, I've been living off of this for years and years. Look at that. So there's 4 books, and in each book there are loads of films. So we're going to go through each film, and I'm just going to give you like my little rundown. Oh look, there's Rasputin. Of the films. So they go on the side there, it just tells you what you got and what extras. These aren't amazing versions, but soon hopefully that will be sorted bit by bit. So first up is 1965 She, an interesting tale about reincarnation. The thing I most remember about this film is being young. Any bossy lady after seeing this, we used to nickname She Must Be Obeyed. And I remember that always included my grandma. Sorry, Gran. It's an alright film. It's more adventure and fantasy, I'd say, than horror. But yeah, it's alright. It's weird it starts here though, out of all films. So next up is 1965's The Nanny. Now this would have been infinitely better with a different title, because it gives the game away before the film even begins. Either way, Bette Davis is fucking amazing in this. She really is. Yeah, it's actually a really good film. You don't hear much about this one, I don't think, do you? No. So next up, I'll get my finger under it, is 1966 Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Now this is the 3rd movie in the Dracula series. However, the 2nd, Brides of Dracula, doesn't even include Christopher Lee. How rude. And this movie kind of ignores that. Bride took place. As of all Christopher Dracula movies, I adore this film. How can you not? It's bloody Christopher Lee. Some of these covers are a bit bizarre, aren't they? Right, next up is 1966, The Plague of Zombies. I don't always remember loads about this. Most of the zombies aren't like what we are later used to, though they are in an amazing dream sequence where they come out of the ground and that's extremely creepy compared to the rest of the movie. It's alright, but it's not one of my greatest favourite films. Rasputin the Mad Monk from 1966. Now Christopher Lee playing Rasputin, of course, which he dedicated a lot of research into, I believe, even speaking to a relative. I can't remember the full details, but what more do you need? Right, now that's the first book done. On to book 2. These sort of go in order, they're just missing loads of important titles, I would say. So look, there we go. Oh, I wonder who that is. A bit of Raquel Welch. Yeah, that's a bit of Reptile. Right, so take a look inside. There we go, that tells you the films. And I'll talk about a little about each one. So the Reptile, that's from 1966. People are being found dead after being bitten by what appears to be a snake, but what actually turns out to be a snake woman. Well, of course, it's Hammer. Fun, but not one of my favourites, or actually that well remembered, thinking about it. So the next one, interesting. So this is 1967's The Witches. The screenplay is by Nigel Neal. That's important, so remember that. This is interesting. It was set in modern days and mixes different kinds of witch myths. You could just take it to town or off their tits on drugs, fucking with the main character, as nothing plays itself as supernatural in the end. It's interesting. I don't think it's one of his best scripts, if I'm honest. But you know, it's cool that I've got it. And next, 1 million years BC. This is from 1966. Now, Ray Harry Harrison dinosaurs and Raquel Welch. Do I need to say any more? I mean, the picture says it all, doesn't it? Fantastic movie. I love Ray Harry Ray Harryhausen movies. Now, next is The Viking Queen from 1967. And do you know what? I can't remember much about this. I've rarely watched it. Um, yeah, it's just one of the more obscure ones, isn't it? And I've never had that interest. So now, Frankenstein Crate Woman from 1967, based on an idea from an episode of an unmade Frankenstein series. This is actually my favourite Frankenstein movie by Hammer. This is actually my fifth favourite Hammer movie, but I haven't got a special edition of it, so you'll just have to see it here. I know it's not as good as the earlier ones. It's a bit stupid. It's a bit pervy, actually. But I just, because it's so different, I just love it. Yeah, I just think it's a really good film. Sue me. Right, we're now on to book 3. Right, things are really hotting up now. There's the cover. I can't even tell you what that's from. And there's Andrew Keir from Keir from Quatermass in the Pit, 1967, which is the first film here, which we are going to skip past for 4 reasons. It's another screenplay by Nigel Neal, though. That's important. And next up is The Vengeance of She from 1967. This is basically a reversal of She. Instead of the reincarnation of She who must be obeyed, it's reincarnation of her lover. I remember this not being a patch on the first. They're more fantasy than horror, truth be told. Still, in the end, it's Hammer and it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Right, now this is a big one. 1968, The Devil Rides Out. This is probably technically Hammer's best outing. And while it is in my top 10, it doesn't actually get into my top 5. I know, surprise, surprise. But it's fucking amazing. I haven't got a better copy of this film. That's like wrong. I hope they sort that out. Right, next up is 1967's Prehistoric Woman, and I can't lie, this is a bit naff. I've only watched it a couple of times. It's probably one of my least favourite Hammer films. It just feels like a rubbish, cheap cash-in on 100 million years BC without Raquel Welch. Even though she's pretty sexy. That's by the by. It's naff. Next is 1970s Scars of Dracula. There's a new 4K edition being released in November, so we'll talk about it there. Not one of the best Dracula films, but you know, it's Dracula. So, book 4, the final book. There's a bit of Frankenstein's monster on the front there, but different. Not really sure what that back picture's from, if I'm honest. There you go, there's a bit about them. So first up is the Horror Frankenstein from 1970. There's a new 4K edition being released in November, so we'll talk about it there, but they've kind of run out of ideas at this point. It's a dark comedy. It's a remake of the first one. It's alright. It's not as bad as I originally remember. Now, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb from 1971. We're going to come back to that for reasons. Now, there was a film missing here that's straight on from morning until morning, and I fucking hate the film. There's a bit where a dog gets tortured. Moving on. Fear in the Night, 1972. Now, I had to rewatch this. I forgot about this film. It's so funny. For half of it, you're thinking this is all painfully so obvious what's really going on. The film takes a complete left turn down an unknown path, and I had a massive grin on my face. Although I admit it's rather abrupt when it happens, almost like there's something being cut, but I still was really impressed. Demons of the Mind from 1972. This film is totally insane. We're dealing with a hereditary madness, murder, incest, and what appears at first to be a bit of a bonkers and coherent script, but it does sort of come together, but it's insane. And finally, to The Devil's a Daughter, 1976. Not as good as The Devil Rides Out, and it has some dodgy, problematic moments, but generally it's really good, and it's Christopher Lee, and you should watch it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot the small art cards in here. Well, let's have a look at these. So we got Frankenstein Crate Woman. Yes. Quatermass in the Pit. Double yes. 1 million years BC. Well, of course. Reptile, we can barely see that, really. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Awesome. Right, now we're going to talk about my top 5 favourite. First of all, I'm going to do an honourable mention. This is sort of like, this is one from my top 10. But I've got a better, newer version of it, so I'm going to bring it up. So it's Blood from Mummy's Tomb with the awesome Andrew Keir. He's godlike. He has a legendary beard. And Valerie Leon plays dual roles. She plays the main girl and she plays like the Egyptian queen. Oh my god, she's gorgeous. I can't even cope with it. You just only got one featurette on here, which is a bit disappointing. But you know, it's an alright copy. But yeah, it's worth watching for his legendary beard and for the lady. She's amazing in it. She's doing a dual role, really good. And so at number 4 is Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Now this sounds like it should be a silly film, but it's played completely seriously. It helps that they are both beautiful. When aren't they all beautiful in Hammer films though? But they can really be male and female versions of the same person. It's some of the best casting I've ever seen. I've always been in love with Sister Hyde since I was young. No comment. Yeah, just a little featurette, but oh, this is bloody amazing and better than it should be for the title. Yeah. Just amazing. Right, now that was at number 4. So at number 3 it is Quatermass in the Pit. This is my favourite Hammer Quatermass film, with my favourite version of Quatermass in Andrew Keir with the legendary beard. It mixes horror and sci-fi perfectly. Look at these special features. Look, Mark Gatiss and Kim Newman. If you see them two names on something, you buy it, yeah? They know what they're talking about and they're amazing to listen to. Kim Newman just for the beard shenanigans going on, and Mark Gatiss, just, he knows his shit when it comes to Hammer horror. He really does. But yeah, no, awesome. Everyone should have this in their collection. Brilliant film. Right, okay, this might shock some. So at number 2, you'd think this would be number 1, I'm sure. It's the original Dracula. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing on amazing form. The sets and costumes, as of all Hammer's gothic horrors, is of course on point. It's beautiful, it's detailed. I love their own interpretation of the Dracula story. It kind of works out better sometimes because it's like more streamlined. Look at all these extras. We've got 2 versions of the film. We've got the 2007 BFI restoration and the Hammer 2012 restoration. I'm hoping we might get a new one soon. Look at all those extras. Fucking awesome. Brilliant. But it's not my number 1. So what is my number 1 Hammer horror? It is, drumroll, boom. Hands of the Ripper. I can't stress how much I adore this film. The last scene in the Whispering Gallery is seared into my mind. I'll never forget it. Jack the Ripper is seen in the opening moments killing a lady in front of the main character when she was a little girl. As she grows up, certain triggers cause her to act kind of like him, as though Jack the Ripper is somehow using her to carry on, or is it just a psychological thing? Either way, I adore this film. I think even when going back through and reassessing my feelings on a few of these films, I don't think anything will change or top this one. It's just, I love it. And that's it. That is my top 5 Hammer horror films. Thank you ever so much for joining me for the 25th night of Halloween. Tomorrow we return to Hammer, but in the most amazing way possible. When I say my jaw hit the floor, I'm not exaggerating. I cannot believe what Hammer have been up to. And no, I'm not talking about their recent films from the last few years, even though there's more than you think. It's like fucking 8 of them. But I'm not talking about them at all. We are still talking classic Hammer, but in the most amazing way possible. So please, please return for that. Oh, it's amazing. Grab your knickers. Good night, my fellow fiends, and see you tomorrow.